Right, so Addy, I'm only gonna commit one fault,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a signal fault. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry about what level we are at the moment. Just want to see if you can spot the fault, and then we go from there on to how you call comp it. So the what, why, how, and the consequences. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Right.
Great.
So I'd have set myself up as normal.
Yeah.
There. And and then I set the mirrors up, and then you'd ask me what I can see.
Okay, so Tony, in your internal mirror, what can you see?
Oh, I can square the back window. I'm going to see a bit of my head restrained.
Okay.
And in
Perfect. And your right-hand window, your right-hand mirror there?
I can see the door handles and a bit of sky and a bit of road.
Perfect.
The same in that one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done, thank you.
Yeah. Right. So if you get me to turn right out of the parking bay,
Okay.
and we'll turn right at the junction ahead. Yeah.
No problem. Okay, Tony, what I'd like you to do is move off when you're ready, and it's safe to do so. And you're turning right out of the parking
Yeah.
bay.
And what fault am I gonna? What faults am I gonna stick in? I need to do with signals to begin with. Yeah.
So yeah, just one
Yeah?
signal fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tony, at the end of the road, I'd like you to turn right,
All right.
please. Okay, and your indicator's just self-cancelled, so I'd like you to put your indicator back so it's turning
Alright.
right, and you can hear the click, just to make sure it's on.
Right. So you notice that the indicator clicked off,
Yeah.
and yes, you came in with hell, with the hell. I can hear it. What we need to do is come in with why it's important for the indicator to go back on.
Okay.
So, yeah, you spotted the WOD immediately. You got me to put it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you need to tell me the importance of having the indicator on.
Okay.
Because if I'm sitting there with the indicator clicked off,
Yeah.
then any pedestrians or any vehicles around me wouldn't know which way I'm turning, and in particular pedestrians could cross in front of me. Yeah?
Okay.
And the how that I know the indicator is on, there's two ways of knowing that it's on, is that I can hear it,
Yeah.
the clicking sound. Now we're going to turn left here.
At the end of the road, Tony, please turn left.
So that they hear the clicking sound,
Yeah.
and I'd also have a visual warning on the dashboard.
Yeah.
On this car, it's a green arrow pointing either left or right. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could actually come back at me now and say, why is it important that the indicator, if it self-cancels, I put it back on?
Okay, so Tony, why is it important, do you think, that that you put the indicator back on when it's self-cancelled?
Oh, so people around me are aware of which way I'm going, yeah?
That's right, and
And we're going to turn left.
at the end of the road, can you turn left, please, Tony?
And
what are the consequences if
Alright,
you don't put that indicator back on?
well, I suppose if I was turning here kind of thing and it cancelled, there could be a pedestrian over there and they wouldn't know that I'm turning left and they might cross the road in front of me.
Absolutely
And I
right.
could hit them.
Spot on. Well
And
done.
we're going to turn right. And how do I know?
And how do you know that the indicator is on?
How do I know if the indicator's cancelled?
Okay. How do you know if the indicator's cancelled?
No, I wouldn't hear that clicking sound,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have that arrow flashing on the dashboard, yeah?
That's right.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right, please, Andy.
Okay, so Tony, can you take the next turning to the right, please?
And we're going to take the second turning to the right, this being the first one.
Okay, we're taking the second turning to the right, please, Tony, and this being the first one. signal there was a little bit early, Tony. You've got 2 junctions to the right there,
Turn right here.
and turn right here, please, Tony.
Yeah, so that's just telling me what, isn't it?
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'm going to turn left.
and at the end of the road, turn left, please. So what you need to do, if you have 2 junctions, 2 turnings to the right that are quite close to each other, once you're coming past the first junction, that's the time when you need to signal. Why do you think that's important to do that?
Sure.
Okay, it gives other road users and pedestrians alike knowledge of exactly which turning you're going to go into. The consequences of signalling too early is people may think you're going to turn right into this junction, and they may cross the road, or other road users may come in front of you, which could cause an accident.
Oh, they could pull it over here in front of me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right, so I need to indicate when I'm...
So your best indication is as you're passing the first turning on the right, that's the time to then put your indicator on, so your intention is very clear that you're taking the second turning on the right.
Right. That's good, well done. And Andy, we're going to turn left, please.
Okay, at the end of the road, turn left please, Tony.
Is that okay?
Yeah?
Just watch me on the next one.
Go on.
Don't forget, it's only a signal fault, so...
Yeah.
And we're going to turn right, please.
And turn right at the roundabout please, Tony. That's the second exit.
Okay?
No, signal fault there.
Yeah, so any idea what the signal fault was?
Yeah, what you should have done is, as you were coming past the first exit, you need to signal left that your intention is to come off at the next exit.
No, it was a timing fault on approach to the T junction and the roundabout. Yeah.
Okay.
I put it on very late, didn't I? I was only about 1.5 car lengths away from
Right.
the T
Yeah.
junction and the roundabout.
Got you. Missed that.
So you need to ask me when would I normally need to put the signal on?
Okay, so Tony, when would you normally put a signal on when you are coming up to a junction or a roundabout?
Oh, about 6 car lengths away, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. And why do we do that?
I'm not too sure now, Andy.
Okay, that's no problem. It's basically giving any other road user and pedestrians enough time to react, that they realise that you are going to turn right, and they know exactly what your intention is.
Oh, right. I remember that, yeah.
And what are the consequences if your signal is late or you don't signal at a junction?
Well, I suppose the people around me are going to be confused and they wouldn't know where I was going.
That's
And I suppose
absolutely
they
right.
could either pull out in front of me or walk out in front of me, couldn't they?
Very much so. It could cause an accident. So it's always best to let people know in good time exactly what your intention is at a junction.
Right, so to help me with that problem now, it's probably my interpretation of 6 car lengths is probably wrong, yeah?
Right.
So the best way to sort that would be to tell me when to signal on the next one, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, so when I give you the direction that we're going, if you actually tell me when to signal, yeah?
Okay.
So if you just tell me that you're going to help me with the next one and you're going to tell me when to put the indicator on, yeah?
Okay.
And then?
Okay, Tony. At the next junction that we're going to turn at, I'm actually going to tell you exactly when to signal, and we'll proceed from there.
Okay.
So when it's safe to do so,
Yeah.
can you move off?
Piccadilly Circus, Andy, there.
Happy Sunday. fate or something
Yeah.
obvious there.
And Andy, at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left.
Tony, at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left. And I'd like you to start signalling now, please.
So say signal now. That's about 6 car lengths, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
Tony, we're going to take the next turning to the right, please.
Tell me the signal now.
And I'd like you to start signalling now, please. That's about 6 car
all
lengths
right.
back.
So now actually prop me on the next one, yeah, and see if I've...
Okay.
See if I can work out 6 car lengths myself, yeah?
Okay. So Tony, at the next junction we're going to turn at, I'm going to allow you to do this yourself.
Yeah,
I'll
just ask me to tell you when I'm going to signal, yeah?
And just tell me when you're going to signal.
All right. And we're going to turn right.
And at the end of the road, Tony, we're going to turn right, please.
I'm going to signal about now. That's about 6 car lengths, isn't it?
Well done. Excellent, thank you.
So they just come back at me once more now and ask me, why is it important to signal in good time?
So Tony, well done for that. Why is it important to signal 6 car lengths back from the junction?
Now, I suppose it's so everybody around me's got time to react.
Very much so. And when you say everybody,
And pedestrians and other road users, cars
Absolutely.
and bikes. And where would you normally signal, Tony?
and where would you normally signal?
Oh, about 5 or 6 car lengths away, isn't it?
6 car lengths.
Yeah. And then you could probably fill in the gaps there because there's a nice chance to get a bit more education in.
Yeah.
And would it be always 6 car lengths away?
Ah, got you. Okay.
Now we're going to turn right.
And at the end of the road, turn right, please.
So go on. Would it be always?
And would it be always 6 car lengths? Do you think when you're approaching a junction?
Oh yes, Andy.
Do you think there'd be any other cases where you might need to signal a bit later?
I can't think of any.
Okay. How about if we've got a couple
I'm
of
going to turn left.
We're going to turn left here, Tony. How about
Okay.
we've got a couple of right-hand turns very close to each other. Certainly less than 6 car lengths between each turning.
Oh, like here and here.
Very much so, yeah. How are you going to safely let other people know your intention?
Would I signal a bit later?
Very much so, yeah. And when do you think the best time is to signal?
Would it be when I'm level with the road that I don't want?
Yeah, just as you're passing that first right-hand turn.
And what would be the consequences of signalling too early there?
And what would be the consequences of the signalling too early on that right turn there?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, well it's basically you could confuse pedestrians and other road users of your intention, and they may think you're turning at that first right-hand turn. And what would the consequences of that be?
Well, I suppose if there's a car waiting to come out of that first turn, he or she might think I'm turning in there and pull out in front of me, will it?
Very much so. And if you had a pedestrian just waiting at the curb there and you're signalling to turn right and you don't, what do you think the consequences of that could be?
Well, I suppose they could have crossed the road and they didn't.
Absolutely.
Right, so we're now going to add in a mirror fault, and it could be a mirror and a signal fault. Yeah?
Okay.
Andy, at the roundabout we're going to be turning left.
At the roundabout, turn left, please, Tony. That's the first exit. Okay, you had a mirror fault there. Whenever you turn left, you check your internal mirror.
Oh, so ask me first and just see if I know.
Okay, so just before the left turn there, Tony, you had a mirror fault there. Do you know what that was? Do you know what you did or didn't?
No, I thought it was okay.
Okay, you checked your internal mirror. When you're turning left, which other mirror do you check?
I didn't actually check any mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah?
So what you should have done there is firstly check your internal mirror. Do you know why we do that first?
Oh, that's the distance and speed one, isn't it?
So it gives you the actual picture of what's going on behind you. And when you're turning left, why do you always look in the left-hand mirror, door mirror?
I'm going to turn left. Oh, that's the one for...
Turn left here, Tony, please.
That's the one where I might spot a cyclist coming down the inside, isn't it?
That's right. And if you haven't checked it, what are the consequences if there was a cyclist coming up alongside you there?
Oh, I suppose I could pop the indicator on and frighten them, or even worse, turn and squash them, yeah?
Very much so. They don't know your intention.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's right. On the next turning now, you'll need to talk through the mirrors, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? So we're going to take the next turning to the left, please.
Okay, Tony, can you take the next turning to the left, please? And the first mirror you check is your internal mirror.
All right.
And then you're checking your left-hand mirror to check there's no cyclists coming up.
Yeah, so you told me what mirrors to check there. Yeah? Did I check them?
No.
No, so it's very important to watch me, innit? So if you say to me, check the interior mirror,
Yeah.
and I don't, say, come on, check it.
Okay.
Yeah? These errors are, you know, exactly what a real student will do to you, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left.
Okay, Tony, at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left, please. So you now need to be checking your internal mirror.
All right.
So check your mirror, please, Tony.
All right, yeah.
And then because you're turning left to check cyclists,
Oh,
check
yeah.
your left mirror, please. Check
Come
your
on,
left
check.
mirror.
That's it. So always watch me, because even though you're telling me what to do, make sure I do it, yeah?
Yeah. And just check your internal mirror. Now we're onto the new road.
Oh yeah, the right one. Yeah, so on the next turning now, just get me to tell you what I'm doing, yeah?
Okay.
Regarding the mirrors, yeah?
Okay, so the next turning, Tony, I'd like you to tell me what you're doing with regards to your mirror procedures,
All
please.
So at the roundabout, we're going to be turning right, please. Okay?
And at the roundabout, we're going to be turning right, which is the second exit.
I'll take the centre mirror and the right mirror.
That's right.
And why am I checking that?
Why are you checking those mirrors, Tony?
Oh, the centre one is the true picture distance and speed,
Yeah,
and the right one for anybody overtaking me in it.
that's correct. And well done for checking your internal mirror once you're onto the new road.
Keep going, keep winding me.
So what are the consequences if you don't check your internal and your right-hand mirror when you turn right?
Well, I wouldn't know, do that, how close the vehicle is behind me.
Yeah.
And if I didn't check that one, I wouldn't know if there's anybody overtaking me.
Absolutely right. And what are the consequences of that? If someone was overtaking you,
No,
hadn't checked?
I could accelerate and I could force them into that learner car there, couldn't I?
Very much so.
It'd be an accident. And we're going to turn right.
And at the next junction, turn right, please, Tony.
So is that making a bit of sense?
Yeah, yeah. It's just that different way of thinking, isn't it?
Right, so we'll add another possibility in now.
Okay.
So we've got the mirror, signal, possibly a positional fault here.
Okay.
Roundabout, Andy, we're going to turn right, please.
And at the roundabout, Tony, we're going to turn right, please, which is your second exit.
And we're going to turn right.
And the next turning on the right, please, Tony. Okay, steer towards me a little bit, please. Okay, when you turned right there, you turned in a little bit early. What do you think the consequences of turning right, pulling over early, would be?
What do you mean I pulled over early?
Okay, what you did was you actually, when you turned right, you actually pulled over into the to the right of the centre line.
So just coming out of roll, I actually cut the corner, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So you've actually cut the corner there.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is start making your turn a little bit later, and ensure that you keep to the left of that centre line. By turning in early, Tony, what do you think the consequences would be?
I'm not too sure, Andy.
Okay, well let's say you've got a car coming towards you from that junction, and effectively you're now sitting in the middle of the road. What's that car got to do?
I suppose he might hit me, would he?
Very
I'm
likely.
going to turn right.
At the end of the road, turn right, please. So what are the consequences of that turn in early? You've got a car coming towards you.
I suppose he might hit me as I turn in.
Absolutely, he's either got to slow down, he's got to swerve out of your way. He may have to stop, and he certainly may swear at you. So just make sure on the next junction that you're keeping to the left of that centre line.
And we're going to turn left.
And at the roundabout, turn left, please, Tony. That's the first exit.
So just coming out of roll, Andy. Would saying to me, make sure that I get it right in the next one, be really good instruction?
No.
There's got to be a remedial action, isn't it?
I need to, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the next turning, I will tell you when to turn.
And how are you going to go around? How are you going to work your way around the remedial action for this cut in the right-hand corner?
So the first time I will tell you when to turn at the next turning, and then we'll do another one where you tell me when you're going to turn.
So it's going to be a reference point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you'll need to try and stop me on the next right-hand turn. Now
Yeah.
we're going to turn left here.
And next turning on the left, please.
And we need to pick up a reference point, yeah?
Okay.
So there'd be no good just saying to me, make sure on the next one I don't cut the corner, yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's not going to happen, is it? I've made a mistake for a reason, and it's probably a gap in my knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah.
So far. If I just move over, just let him go. I'll just turn it over. And we're going to turn right to the junction.
And at the junction, turn right, please, Tony.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
And the next turning to the right, please.
Now you don't want me to make this turning, you want to talk me into position and stop me, yeah?
Okay, so take your position as though you're going to turn right, Tony, but don't turn right until I
No,
tell you so.
no, just tell me when to stop.
Okay. So just stop there, Tony,
Right.
please.
So there's nobody behind us. So there's no good telling me to take my position, because I've just shown you that I don't know what the position is to avoid cutting the corner
Yeah.
anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
So you now need to either check my reference point or give me a reference point, yeah?
Okay.
Have you any idea where that reference point would be?
I would say it's where the centre line cuts into the car.
Yeah, well, the centre line of that road cuts into the car, so you could ask me where does that
Okay, so where does the centre line on that junction cut into the car, Tony?
Oh, just by the store mirror here, and
Okay, that's good.
that's your reference point for...
So that's your reference point for the correct positioning for turning right.
Yeah, that's my reference point to avoid cutting the right-hand turning, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So that's your reference point for avoiding cutting that right-hand turning.
Alright. So on the next one, you want me to...
So the next turning on the right that we're going to do, Tony, I'd like you to tell me what you're doing with reference to positioning on the road and your
And we're
reference
going to
point.
turn left.
And next turning on the left, please.
And we're going to turn right.
And at the next turning on the right, can you take that, please, Tony, and talk me through your positioning, please.
I've got the line in the middle of that road up. Oh, with that door mirror.
That's correct.
Yeah? So just go back over my knowledge now.
So what you've done there, just explain to me again where you positioned the car in relation to the centre line.
Oh, here's that reference point that we picked up a few minutes ago, yeah?
And what was the reference point?
Where the centre of the centre line of the road that I'm turning into cuts into the car by the door mirror.
That's right. And why do we use that that reference point to turn right?
Oh, because that stops me cutting the corner.
Absolutely. And what are the consequences of cutting the corner?
Oh, if there's a car coming down this road I'm turning into, I might force him to swear or swerve or stop or...
That's right, the 4 S's as we've
Yeah,
talked about
right.
before.
Yeah? So, you will need to come back now because it's very important on this that we don't give a blanket instruction, yeah?
Yeah,
There will be occasions where I will have to cut the corner,
right.
yeah? Have you any idea what those occasions might be?
If you've got a parked car
Yeah?
on your left-hand side,
Yeah, it could be a parked car right on the corner. Could be a skip.
yeah,
So I may have to cut the corner. But obviously I'm going to need some guidance on how I'm going to do that.
right.
So, you know, what would I do to make sure that it's safe?
Yeah.
I would need to...
So you need to stop before you make that right turn.
Yeah,
See if there's any oncoming traffic coming towards you. See what your obstruction is, whether it is a parked vehicle or something else. Once you're clear to turn, then make that turn.
yeah. So obviously I'm being forced to cut the corner
Yeah,
by the obstruction, whether it be a car, a van, or a skip or whatever, parked too near the corner. Yeah.
yeah,
But I must make sure that it's safe for me to cut the corner. So in other words, I must make sure that it's safe for me to turn into the road.
yeah.
There's not much point in me turning into the road if there's a car coming down that road and I'm going to meet it right on the turn. Yeah.
Got you.
Okay. Yeah. So it's very important that once you do a right hand corner cut, that you do come up with the instruction that it's not always going to be possible to actually take the right position.
Yeah,
If not cutting the corner.
yeah,
Because of the fact that people do park on the corners. But if I have to cut the corner, then obviously I must make sure that it's safe to do so. It's my responsibility. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Got you.